First item is for the approval of the agenda as presented. What is the pleasure of council on agenda approval?
Make a motion, we accept it as presented.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to accept the agenda as presented. All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same. There is none. Okay, next item is consideration of surplus police equipment. And we have our police chief, Brandon Hunsucker, here. It's also on your first page in your tablets if you want to see it. But you have the floor, chief.
So it's basically the same thing we did back in November. Major Brain Doolittle, today is his last official day of work. His retirement will start tomorrow. With that comes with tradition of giving the retiring officer his service weapon and his duty badge. I'm just asking that we surplus the Glock Model 19 that he carries and the 3 magazines, and also the gold-plated badge with the title of Major on it. That way we can award those to him as a gift to him. We normally have to pay a $1 fee since we can't actually give product to take product from the city. So I will pay that $1 fee to whomever in the city I need to pay that to for the purchase of that weapon and that badge. So, and then we'll let Major Doolittle retire.
Okay, sounds good. What's the council's decision on the surplus equipment that we consider it surplus from the police department?
I make a motion to surplus the Glock Model 19 and 3 magazines carried by Officer Doolittle and his gold-plated badge.
I second it for purposes of discussion. I have a question.
Yes.
The next paragraph is Captain Stout.
Yes, I just
I
sent
have a
that.
question about Captain Stout. He's already retired.
He's already retired. That is basically I took his letter and I did not put
Captain Doolittle.
I did not put Major Doolittle there. I left Captain Stout in that.
So that is not
That is
supposed to be Captain
That is a
Stout.
clerical error only.
That is supposed to be Doolittle.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Okay, well that's.
So we have a clarification there,
Yes.
but still have the motion on the floor
And a
to
second, yes.
put the items on surplus. That's the Glock Model 19 handgun, 3 magazines, and a gold police badge with his identification number on it, okay? I have a motion and a second. All in favor of this motion, please say aye. All opposed, it is unanimous. Thank you, Chief.
I'm gonna give you one quick update. Jill, I got a phone call just a little bit ago. Gaither Keener with American Legion, he wanted to express how thankful he was for the way the ball field looks. And he said he rode through town this week and looked at the baseball field, come to Main Street, looked at Main Street, and he said to tell all of y'all that he really appreciated everything you've done, that it looked amazing, and that he looks forward to being here this summer when the state tournament's here for American Legion Baseball.
That's
And
great.
Gaither is a national representative
He
for American.
is on he's our judge advocate for the American Legion Department of North Carolina, and he's on the National Finance Committee. He is a lawyer by trade.
I think out of Winston-Salem, somewhere around that area.
They're like, wax salt through in there.
But he just wanted to express how thankful he was for everything that's been done. And
If he don't approve it, it don't happen.
Mhm.
We stay on his good side.
that's
We like
good.
that.
Well,
I
I
like
think we're
that.
definitely on his good side right now.
His brother, it will be going into the Hall of Fame that we're gonna be doing here that Friday night posthumously.
Yeah.
And he has another brother coming too
Okay.
that was all active in American Legion baseball.
Okay.
So
Well, he picked a good weekend to come through. He
Yeah.
did.
Yes, he did.
So, he said he was really impressed with the way downtown looked as well. And everything.
And I'm sure the field, the baseball field,
Oh, absolutely,
since we've got our
absolutely.
signs up now, so it does.
The other thing I'll let you know is we met with DEQ today with the gym for the final step, and they gave the go-ahead. So Custom was there, the grader was there, Requa was there, gosh, who else was there? There were several people there, but anyway, he gave the final go-ahead, so they should,
Brian Skiba?
no, not him. The county wasn't there, it was just state representatives.
Oh, okay.
But he gave the go-ahead for the grading to begin, so they're looking to hopefully start grading within the next 2 weeks.
Oh, wow, that's
And
good.
we'll go from there.
Okay,
Awesome.
and they supposedly still on the schedule of 200 days, the gym would be complete.
They hope, they hope. He's gonna do everything he can to get the pad done as quick as possible so they can go ahead and start putting the building up. And Dustin said, once the pad is ready, that they can get the building up probably within about 3 weeks. So, and then it's mostly inside work. We'll go from there. But that's it, so, that's all city staff has, so we can move into the budget, if y'all would like, and I know Mr. Wise was gonna, I think, take the cameras off so we could move into the budget, and I can step out and maybe call Gary and see if, give him a chance to get here before we start.
Okay, well, that's
Take a
fine.
quick little break there.
Yeah, see,
Anyone that wants to use the restroom or anything, we can do that before we get started with the budget. Is there anything from council, any business they need to bring up?
I would like to bring something here because we're still getting the complaints on Requa Road and about the speed. Is there any reason or anything that would prevent us from putting a stoplight up Ridge Avenue to slow anything down that coming up through there?
Chief,
I think we probably have to
I think
do a
I mentioned
traffic
that to the
analysis
chief.
first,
Yeah.
wouldn't we?
Yeah.
I think I mentioned that to the chief, but
Yeah, I think last meeting, Ms. Owens and I talked about it. We would have to find out which part of that is actually state maintained and which part of it is ours. Right at Ridge.
Ridge used to be state maintained, but it's not anymore. So basically all that's over. It's out to the city limits.
what was your,
Do we have to have NCDOT come and do a study?
They're talking about
I'm sorry, what was your
Ridge Avenue at
Requa.
Requa Road.
I'm still getting
About
calls
getting
about it, and I said, this is the only thing I could think of. They wanna
Well-
put speed bumps, and we don't want speed bumps
Technically,
necessarily.
DOT has completed their study.
Uh-huh.
So I think that would probably be our decision on whether we wanted to put a stoplight there, whether we wanted to make it a four-way
Four-way,
stop.
Yeah, I'd rather
whatever
do a
we
four-way
wanna do.
stop
I
than
would-
still
I mean,
a
I
light.
think a four-way stop would be your better option. and
Yeah, me too.
Cheaper too.
Cheapest option.
Stoplights
By
are
far.
very expensive.
I'm not a fan of speed bumps by
No,
any means
no,
because,
Me either.
Cause your emergency vehicles.
Emergency vehicles,
Yeah,
it's
I'm
rough
telling
on
them
a fire
that's just
truck
not
ambulance.
an option. I mean, I've dealt with it in Charlotte, and it's awful.
Yeah,
Even
it
the
is.
speed-
Having speed bumps through a neighborhood, oh, it's awful.
I know it doesn't snow much here, but you get a speed bump, the snow plow.
Yeah, they'll tell them
Yeah,
that.
you've done some damage.
So you think we could do the four-way stop and go ahead and get that put up there?
And the reality is, I think people are getting way ahead of themselves. Everybody believes that all these houses are gonna show up in one day.
No,
It's
they're
not the
not.
way it's gonna happen. It's gonna be periodically over time,
I know
so
that's
it's
what
not
I
gonna
thought.
be, all at once.
It's not so much the houses as it is the speed, and I guess people cutting through from Top Delaware Road and then coming up through there, and they're dealing with a whole lot of traffic. They're not concerned about
the
all
houses,
the extra cars or anything, it's
Yeah.
it's the
about what's
speed,
going
it's
on
the
now.
speed's what it is.
Right. So,
And the biggest problem with that road is it is a cut through from Top Delaware
Top
to,
Delaware, Black Road, coming
Black,
off the other one.
and I mean, we've had, I know for 2 weeks straight, Sergeant Bennett was out there and I think he wrote 13 tickets in about a 2-week span, so, it's very hard for us to enforce that out there unless we're running LiDAR. which is a laser operated speed measuring device. There's nowhere for us to sit to run radar.
Houses are right up on the
yeah.
highway.
So we either have to ask permission to sit in somebody's driveway or,
You put the LiDAR in mine.
do what now?
You put the LiDAR in mine.
Okay.
And Jack Bingham said anytime on his lower
The problem with
driveway.
Jack's driveway is it's gravel. And then if they take off to go get somebody, it's hard for them to get traction. They have tried Jack's driveway, but it ends up slinging his gravel everywhere. And we don't wanna have to end up taking that complaint and working on that at that time. So-
Do you think it's
And-
mostly the high school students?
No,
Ridge is
honestly,
up
it's
there where high
not.
school's at.
The,
The four-way stop there's not
the
necessarily.
time
the
period
speed's
or the
coming
time
up to
frame
that.
that
I
Sergeant
know.
You know
Bill
what
was
I'm
writing
saying?
tickets was actually either before school or during school and then late in the afternoon. So, or when school was going on. So I don't think any of them were school students per se. It was mainly, just people traveling to and from Top Dellinger and into town, so.
What
And
would be
really the
your
speeds-
suggestion, to put the speed limit signs up first, or just go straight on with the four-way stop?
There are speed limit signs going both directions, and they're about every, best I can remember, last time I rode out there. Seems like those speed limit signs are about every 150, 200 yards.
Pretty close.
They're pretty close to each other. So I mean,
No, I was talking about the signs that shows how fast they're going. That
so-
tends to slow them down when the sign's up. But
Yeah,
as
we
soon as you
did that
take
for
them
the signs
down.
up. And it works for a day or two, and then they realize,
They go back to it.
they go right back to it, so.
I mean, I'll give you my opinion. I think putting a four-way stop's not gonna stop the speeding.
It's not,
They're speeding down at the other end.
yeah.
When they're coming up to Ridge Avenue, they're gonna start slowing down for that other stop sign down there. So I don't think a four-way stop there, just for that little stretch, is gonna
Yeah,
stop
it's-
speeding.
The speeding is,
You're,
most of the people were coming from Top Dellinger going
yeah, that's where the
into town.
speeding's coming up.
Um,
In front of
was
Jack's and
riding
down through
the
there
ticket,
by
so.
Hidden Valley where my mom lives.
Uh-huh.
You gotta start slowing down once you get on up in the city limits and start coming to that other stop signs. I don't know that that would fix that problem.
Well, that's the reason I suggested putting the stoplight up that's gonna stop, they're gonna have to stop.
That's the
Unless
same.
it's green and they're gonna go flying through it.
I know speed bumps are horrible for public works especially,
Yeah, they
but
are.
that's the only thing that I think would slow them down. But I know it's terrible for public works, I know it is.
Like I said, it doesn't snow much, it's kind of.
I know. I understand.
So there is a new product out. I just got some information on it a couple weeks ago through email. I mean, there are some temporary speed humps.
Mhm.
I don't know the cost. I don't know the price. It's something I can check into.
Is it those that's kind of rubber? they're
Yeah,
made out
Yeah,
of
we
rubber?
used to have them at the barber shop
Real hard
on
rubber.
Main Street.
But these are the wide ones, like the true speed humps, not just like a small speed bump. These are a wide, probably 3 foot wide speed hump. I mean, I can look into that and see cost wise versus,
But
That'd
here's the
be
other
my
thing.
suggestion
Here's the
before I
other
go
thing.
with a stoplight or a four-way stop, either one.
But here's the other thing you need to remember, when we did this and we looked at it from, on Academy Street, when some people were complaining about that. If you put speed humps there, or speed bumps, however you wanna call it, there's case law from the League of Municipalities that talks about who's responsible if somebody hits it and damages their car. Do you wanna take that liability if you put a speed bump out there and somebody's car gets damaged as well?
Even if you put warning signs up?
Doesn't matter. That's the case law on it.
And the
Okay.
speed bumps thing I worry about too, if they need emergency vehicles into the high school for any reason.
Cause you remember when we was talking about Academy Street too, with Somerset there.
Yeah,
It's
the,
like, we don't need to put
Person hump.
speed humps, because what if emergency vehicles need to get to Somerset? Cause I mean, ambulances are there on a daily basis, so it's like, you don't need to
I
do
don't have any.
it. I mean, the reality is you're never gonna solve speeding. Let's just be honest. It's gonna happen. But the way you solve it is exactly what Chief said. You got Officer Bennett, or Sergeant Bennett out there, and he wrote 13 tickets the other week. Well, when it starts getting in people's pocket, that's gonna solve it more than anything. You
Okay,
know, that's my opinion. You're never gonna completely solve it.
okay.
Yeah, but we can't put an officer there.
You
Yeah,
can't,
it-
24/7.
you can't do that either. There's
Yeah.
some things that's just.
And like I said, the LiDAR versus the radar, I've got multiple radar operators. I've only got 3 LiDAR operators. You know, one of those is on night shift, the other 2 are on the same shift with each other. So I would have a whole, basically a 48-hour period where
Right.
nobody could go out there. You know, so, and we're short, so sending somebody to that school, I mean, that's a week-long school, so sending somebody to that right now is just about out of the question, so.
And how long till school's out?
High
May
school,
May
May.
24th graduation.
About 3 weeks.
But honestly, it wasn't the school kids doing the speeding. I mean, it was older folks, you know, not school age. I don't think he wrote one to a school age person. It was,
Okay.
and everybody, I think every ticket he wrote, in that time period was coming from Top Dellinger. So, I mean, they're coming into town where, you know, we can't go past that city limit sign to run radar,
They
so.
don't wanna go around
Yeah, they
to
don't wanna
get
go
to the
around,
other
they-
side. so
And
they
that's where
cut
they're
through it.
speeding farther down the road,
Exactly.
right from Ridge.
Yeah, I mean, they coming off of Top Dellinger.
Yep.
And then
So
when they turn on Requa, I mean, they're just letting it go and, just not slowing down when they come into town. So, I mean, it's it's one of those battles that we're fighting it's a non-winnable battle, really. And figuring out how to combat that.
Okay.
All right, can I move on to one other issue? Joyce Drive.
Yes, I had another issue. I've had a request. Joyce Drive turns off of Colonial Drive down in Westgate. It's a dead end street. And I've had a request from a resident there that we put a no outlet sign. There's a lot of, she says, her opinion, there's a lot of traffic going down there and there's not a cul-de-sac, so
No,
they
just-
have to turn around somebody's driveway.
Okay.
I know where you're talking about.
I do too.
I know
It's,
exactly what you're talking about. And it
so
does,
the
it
one
just,
Right
you have to
past
turn into
Donna
McSwain's style when
Stamey's,
you turn around.
that first road past Donna Stamey's that turns back to the right.
Yes.
Only thing I rode down there today, and the only thing I would recommend, obviously, when you turn on to Joyce Drive is when you're gonna want to have the no outlet sign. Connie from Roma, her house right there on the corner, she's got a large tree, it looks like maybe on the property line between her and the neighbor. Maybe go talk to Connie, see if she has a problem, or if she's okay with us putting the no outlet sign right there. Because once they turn on there, they're stuck, really.
You're gonna have to turn
I'm not
around
saying it's gonna,
driveways.
yeah, you're still gonna have to turn around the
I
driveway.
used to live there. Colby lived there then, he knows.
But you gotta put it up that way for people to see.
Yeah,
And then
that's right.
maybe
Before they turn on.
yeah,
I have no problem going and talking to Connie at all.
and maybe we just make sure she's good with
Sure.
us putting it there.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All
So
right.
if y'all wanna take action on that, we can talk to her, see, make sure she's good with it, put it up there on the right of way, and then
Put it on
See-
there.
see if it
Agenda.
helps.
Okay, just get back to us. Be fine.
I shall do that.
All right, well, I think that concludes our special work session, and now we'll move into the budget session.